Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the finale episode, yes, of our Big Ambitions playthrough here, at least for EA 5. I have some more that I'm going to do with this game when the next update comes out, but we're going to wrap up this series, this playlist, with this video here. The late game in Big Ambitions is kind of like the late game in a lot of other games, where there's just not a lot to do, and you get to the point where you're doing the same thing over and over again, and at a certain point it stops being a fulfilling experience, and that's the point I've reached with the game. It's not as fulfilling anymore. There's no reason to do anything to make more money. Money is now meaningless. In basically every sense of the word, money is meaningless now. Now, I am going to eliminate Jessica. I did say we're going to do that. And so what I'm going to do to eliminate her is I'm going to take her coffee shop. I'm going to remake it as my own, right? We're going to transform her coffee shop and keep this business. The rest of them, we're going to just buy her out and close. So I'm going to take Style by Todd here. It doesn't have a very good location anyway. And we're just going to offer her $1 million to buy her out of this business and see if she takes it. Okay, let's try 1.1. No, you're gonna make me pay premiums, aren't you? Let's do a 1.2. Oh yeah, I was wondering if I had to go to 3 or not. We're gonna shut this down. Goodbye. Terminate the contract on the lease. Goodbye. And then we're gonna come over to our employees tab, just like we did before, and we're gonna find all of those new employees, and we're just gonna go ahead and take them out of here. Fire. Goodbye. They're gone. Jessica's now down to just 109,000 a week, but I'm going to do it with the rest of her businesses too. And it's going to cost me a lot to do this. But the thing is, it doesn't matter, right? And that's where I'm getting at with this. When you get to the, ooh, hey, this location is actually pretty decent. I'm going to hold on to it. Yeah, 30 and 47. We're going to hang on to that one just because I wouldn't want anyone to start a business in there anyway, right? So some of these locations we will keep. Oversaturated labs. It used to be her most profitable business always, like all the time. 50 capacity, 38 traffic score. She was making like 180,000. But because I lowered prices, ridiculousness, she's still not even close to as low as mine. She's at $96 an hour. She used to be like over $200 an hour. Well, now we're going to buy it from you. I'm going to say $1.5 million. Let's take it out. Paying almost double the price for it just to make sure she says yes, so I don't have to deal with the timing on it. We're going to keep that building too. Let's go over to our employees tab and again find all of these guys. We could probably do this after we're done buying her out entirely, but that is a lot of people I just put out of work, by the way. Like, holy crap, that's a lot of people that are going to get fired. The unemployment rate in New York City just went up. You're welcome. Let's see, this one here is to be a really cheap business. I might actually let her keep the electronics store for a while just to see whether or not she closes it on her own. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of demand for it. We're going to keep this building too if we take it over, so let's give her, we're not going to pay her double for this one. We'll go 900,000 for this one. She'll say yes. We're going to keep this building too, and then let's just do it. Yeah, we're going to take one more time on the employee tab because I want to keep the coffee shop. We're going to remake the coffee shop into something else. So we're going to say fire, goodbye, done. And then finally, all there's left, even with all those purchasing and buying her out, she's still, poor Nathan, man. I should just put him out of his misery too. All right, perfect purchase. This is her electronics store. I'm going to let her keep that. It's really low on my list of things. It's not worth anything, but we're gonna buy the busy goat and we're actually gonna use this. So let's say we'll go 1.6. See if I don't think she'll say yes to that. Yeah, you have to go above and beyond on these things for her to say yes to them. So I think 1.8 is probably where I was gonna land. Nope, she wants even more than that. 1.9. Really? Gotta get into the twos, huh? Okay, 2 million, even higher. See what I mean? You really got to go up there much higher. Okay, so this is the business I want to transform for like our finale video here, right? Because I don't have a coffee shop in Hell's Kitchen yet, and I'd like to. So we're going to turn this one into like a Charbucks. whatever the name is going to end up being here. We can probably just change it to Charbucks right now. Let's just do it. Charbucks. All right, it's a beautiful morning, Wednesday. I'm gonna go ahead and just eat some food really quick. And, you know, we don't have the biggest happiness, but I think I know what will make us really happy, you know? Let's head on over and just to really rub it in her face. I want to really rub it in Jessica's face. Where is a cab? Whenever you need a cab, man, how do you hail a cab in this city? There you go. Let's grab over here. Now, I want to go to Manhattan Luxury Cars right here. And we're going to go in there right early in the morning here, right as they open up. And again, I want to rub it in her face. We are going to come on over here to this big, awesome car on the pedestal here. We're going to go hot pink. Oh, yeah, we are. We are going to get ourselves a big pink, incredibly luxurious Petrol's Fenton. Okay. Let's just head out. And here we go. Now we are rolling in absolute style as we slowly roll off the lot like a boss. All right. And where are we going, you might ask? Well, we're going to the new coffee shop, of course. And we're rolling there in style. All right. In this incredibly expensive hot pink car that if I ding the bumper, it's going to cost me 100 grand. That guy, whew, thank you for stopping. Let me tell you, I'm not interested in stopping for red lights, but it is definitely in my financial interest to do so. There's the park right there. Everybody just kind of stop for a second. There we go. Turn left. Okay, now the new coffee shop is up and running right now. All right, I've got it going. I got employees. I managed to keep 3 of the employees that were with us before. I'm going to say that those guys are like managers now, pretty much. But there's a reason why I want this nice, hot, pink car. All right. It's because I've decided to abandon the Charbucks name. That wasn't going to be a good name. It wasn't going to work. You know what we have to do. It's almost a tradition now, or at least I'm going to start it as a tradition. We need to have this shop really drive it home. All right. And there's no other way to do that than to call this one Dunkin' on You as well. This is also Dunkin' on You. Yep. And we just received a message from Jessica Johnson. I wonder what it is all about. Let's take a look and see. What's her message? Jessica, what you got here? I hear you're charging your customers way too much again, at least compared to my new prices. Good luck. This is what I think of your new prices, Jessica. I'm gonna just crank it up. Yep. It's another hot pink Dunkin' on You. And we're gonna party right in here while we do this. $250,000. No, that ain't gonna work. Fine, 280. 280,000. Get out of here. Shut down. Terminate the lease. Take the employees. Yep, more unemployed people. That, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote on Jessica. Her income is now 0. She is donezo.
All right, you win. Jeez. You just have no respect, huh? I've been controlling Hell's Kitchen for 10 years. Then you just come waltzing in acting like the boss? No kidding, Fred is your uncle. Goodbye. For now.
No kidding, Fred is your uncle. So yeah, that's how that's going down. Now, what would be next if we were going to continue, right? What would be next on the list of things to do? Well, I have over 10.5 million in my investment account now. I got 1.6 million in cash and I've got 2 people defeated. I could probably, with the cash I have on hand, eliminate, I want to say probably these 4 as well could be eliminated with the cash I have on hand. So I would have about 14 people to compete with. The next person that can act against us is Erie Moreau here. And there's no way for me to buy him out right now. I just don't have nearly enough cash. His best place is Merchant Joe's supermarket, and that the estimated valuation of that is significantly more than the cash that I even have. And he has a lot of businesses as well. So, I mean, he would be it would take a very long time to eliminate him. And then on top of that, you've got, of course, Mr. Go in Midtown, who also would take a considerable amount of time to eliminate. I mean, his complete foods chain is insane. All right. So there's no way I'm going to be spending that kind of time for a video series to take them out. But you can take out other rivals. You don't need to focus on just these guys. It's just fun to do these guys because there's voices. I would love it. And I think it would add a whole new different dynamic to the game if every rival had a voice. I know it's a significant amount of time investment and everything, but think about it this way. They could, at the very least, you could have them say like the same dialogue lines. You already have Ingrid and Jessica. They both had the same tactics. And I would also like to see additional tactics added to the rivals too. I want to see them do things more than what they're already doing. They've got decent ideas, and I've actually employed those ideas against them. The same thing about, saturating a market and dramatically reducing my prices.
What the? Listen, kid, I was hoping this wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
I really like Fred, but that's not going to hold me back from defending my own freaking neighborhood.
Yeah.
Get out of Hell's Kitchen.
So this actually happened with Ingrid as well. The initial angry message that you get for like triggering them into a rivalry, that message also played for Ingrid too. I just didn't have the recorder on. I just didn't have it recording. It's a known bug. It's already been reported. It'll be fixed in the next update. It's fine. So I'm not going to worry about that one. But it would be the same thing if you took out any of these guys, right? Except these guys don't talk. So if I was to eliminate this guy right now, he would just disappear and his stores would become available and then I could buy them. Speaking of which, let's see how many places are available now, which shouldn't be very much considering it's... Oh, you know what, though? Wait a minute. Yeah. Where's Joe's Hot Dogs? Yeah. Get out of here, Joe's Hot Dogs. I'll offer you under market value. What are you going to do about it? You're going to give it to me. Get out of here, Joe's Hot Dogs. Well, I now cornered the hot dog market too. There you go. I bought Joe's. I've coveted Joe's Hot Dogs for so long. With Jessica out of the picture, we now have Joe's Hot Dogs all to ourselves. And of course, I've got a lot of employees and stuff I'm going to have to deal with here as well. I probably have to fire some people or whatever. I have cheap clothing is currently out of stock, so my clothing stores are going to start getting low as well. You got people who want executive desk mouse pads. How would I improve the game? Let's get another bit of feedback here. All right. Now, I don't know whether or not Jonas and the team are still watching my videos. I have no idea. All right. I don't have like a daily communication with them or anything. Okay. Hey, you want to see how much it costs to repair it? Let's try this. Oh no, what did I do? I'm at 95%. Jeez, the fender bender on this thing. Let's take a look. Place your bets, folks. 5% repair on the Petrol's Fenton. I'm gonna say it's 50 grand. I'm gonna guess 50. I don't know what it is, but let's see what it is. All right, here we go. And 20,000. That's a little more respectable than I thought it was. Apparently, I've spent $250,000 repairing vehicles, though. I'm gonna say 95% of that is my none of it because I drive that thing like I don't give a shit about it. All right, so let's talk about what we want to see improved. Right now, everybody has access to the roadmap. So you guys already know what's coming in the next update, kinda, all right? You know the public-facing stuff that's coming in the next update. There's more to it, but in general, in factories, all right, is on the roadmap for 0.6. You're going to be able to take the raw resources and get those, source those, and then make your own products. Now, I don't have any other... I'm not going to spoil anything that I have any type of other knowledge about, okay? I'm not going to tell you anything that's not public-facing. So take everything I say here as just me talking off my head, having not been told anything from anyone that it's actually happening, okay? So nothing I'm about to say is confirmed. Don't take this as confirmed. This is just a normal guy talking off the top of his head, all right? Okay. I would really like it if there was a way using these factories to differentiate ourselves to where our products could be better than other people's products by refining our assembly and manufacturing process. Now, it's possible that domestically produced stuff in factories will be interpreted as better, but at the moment, I have no idea if that's going to be a thing. And based on what I'm looking at here, right, every single product in the game, it's incredibly elastic. You make it cheaper, people buy it from you because it's the same thing as the other guy across the road, but you're paying less for it. So as a consumer, it makes sense to buy it from the guy who sells it for the lowest price, right? But with factories being introduced in the next update, it gives us a chance, I would hope anyway, and again, I have no knowledge at all whether this is going to be a thing ever. I would like to have a bit more of, let's say, software incorporated-esque features where we can choose various different elements of the product to focus on and create unique products that differentiate us in the market and have them have some kind of a quality or attractiveness score with the market here. That is incredibly complicated, and I don't anticipate it being something that's going to be done, but I think it would add a lot of depth to the business management part of the game. I would love that. Now, again, based on the roadmap, we know other locations are coming later on too, right? Broadway is on the list. They're going to have like JFK Airport. You're going to be able to buy big homes in the Hamptons, right? That kind of stuff is all stuff that's on the roadmap. That's public, right? You can see it linked in the description, right? It's been in the roadmap the whole time. And then also there's a DLC for Costa del Sol where you can, use the airport, fly off to another location, all that stuff. And that's great. That's fine. I think it's going to add a lot of stuff there, but if there needs to be more to do, not just the same things in different places. There needs to be more to do, especially in the late game. Because right now, we're in a situation where I am where, like, yeah, I could get older, but I'm going to have to play the game over and over again to have really much, like, it's like most games, like most creative strategy games, whatever, are the same thing, are the same way, right? The beginning is super fleshed out. The middle is awesome. And then the end, it just kind of, okay, yeah, we get it. Anything else to do? And once there's nothing else to do, it quickly just kind of fades away, right? I want more things to do. What does that mean? How about we take our incredible wealth and apply it towards things that have a meaningful difference to the community? I want to be able to put my money into a big building and like, let's say there's a big space here and we could make, I don't know, a school for kids or something. We could sponsor a basketball team and actually go to games. I don't know. Like, these are like things that are way off the wall, right? That just have nothing to do with running a business. But they're things that I can do, and I can see a meaningful impact in the city by investing my money in them. As far as things to do, how about give me jet skis? That's my first thing. I want jet ski, all right? I want jet skis. I want fast boats. I want to be able to actually drive the boats. If you haven't seen this game before, there are boats you can buy. I'm not going to play long enough to buy them. The last playlist I did, though. So if you're interested in seeing the boats, I'm over here by the water. I'll show them. I'm going the wrong way, though, aren't I? Nope. Marina's right here. And like last playlist, I got enough money to buy the boats. I guess I have enough money to buy a boat right now. These boats here are not that expensive. But the problem with the boats is that they just sit there. That's it. That's all they do. They just sit there, and it's like, okay, cool. I own a boat now. I want to drive it. All right. I want to be able to drive it, and I want to have actual interactions, just like the cars. All right. I want to be able to drive it around. Because right now, all it is like a glorified. It's just like a little bed. That's all it is. Dragonfly. If I click this, right, we can go ahead and take a look at buying it. It's $3.5 million. Okay, pretty expensive boat. Change the color. If I was to buy this right now, it costs me $320,000 a year. That's every 60 days for maintenance on the boat. That's incredibly expensive. Okay, sure. But all it does is sit here. It doesn't do anything. I want it to do things. Me want jet ski. And then on top of that, let's do cool events with the boats. So I think there's a missed opportunity here. You got a ton of water. I think we could expand this map out a little bit. Let's have races. I want to go to I want to participate in boat races. I was watching like gameplay videos, not tutorials, but like gameplay videos and stuff of people playing GTA. And there's so much to do in Grand Theft Auto. That's why it survives for so long. Here's the big boat. Here's the giant yacht that you could buy. And it's $90 million, $9 million a year to maintain it. So it's $99 million to buy it. You have to have the first year of maintenance included in the cost. So gigantic yacht. What can you do with this gigantic yacht? At the moment, you can do nothing. You get on it and you sleep. In the future, when things like the Hamptons and stuff are loaded into the game, it says in the roadmap anyway that we'll be able to access by car or boat. What I'm going to assume that means from a development standpoint, again, no insider knowledge on this, is that I click this and it says, where do you want to go? My house in the Hamptons. And then a loading screen happens, much like the casino, and then you're at there. That's not what I want. Like, it'll happen, cool, and that's fine. It'll be just like the casino in that way, right? But what I want is to actually drive the boat and to physically see homes along the water on the other side of this lake or whatever, or wherever we're going. And I want to be able to move around. And maybe there are shops. Maybe there are other boats that are, like now I don't really know how to describe it because I don't live near these areas. But you got boats on the water that sell things, right? Man, there's so many possibilities with this game, and that's the problem with it. And I don't envy Jonas at all because he's got to take all these incredible ideas that he has, that other players have. I mean, maybe mine are pretty average. And he just has to parse through all of them and say, okay, well, that one's worth our time. That one's not. And that one's really cool, but it takes too long. Or this one's going to take not much time, but it won't be meaningful, right? Like he's got to figure out which ones to do. And that's up to him. And it's an incredible process that I'm looking forward to seeing the results and the end of this game. Because I think I'm not done with Big Ambitions. I'm definitely playing again. But part of me is thinking, like how many times am I going to come back to this game? I think I'm gonna play around next time. Next playlist and stuff will be starting in July. That's when the update's scheduled to come out, and we'll start. We're not going to go quite as long as we did this time, but we're going to start. We're going to build things up a little bit. We'll get our factories going on, and we'll see how that system is and stuff, and then we'll probably call it a day until we get to, I would say, probably 0.9. I'd probably wait for that kind of thing. I did just check the early access roadmap as well. I didn't know this ahead of time, but it's on the roadmap, the personal driver, to hire a personal driver and travel around the city. I still think it should be exclusive to this vehicle, but that's just me. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming for Big Ambitions. There's so many possibilities with it. And it's one of those things where you can have a dozen ideas, and if you implement just one of them, it's going to be a massive improvement. How about the less flashy things? Things that are not quite flashy. Things that are not like jet skis, okay? Hashtag give me jet ski. No. The number one thing I want from a usability perspective, and I'm hoping this is part of the UI changes that are coming later. The number one thing I want is I want the ability to do more actions in bulk, and I want the ability to do them. Let me break it. I got to actually show you for this. Let me explain. Okay, so it's not just like actions in bulk per se, but whenever we play strategy games like this and creative games like this, there's always an element that you have to do repetitively. You have to do this all the time, and the game doesn't give you a really good way to do it fluidly. That's part of UI design and trying to figure out the UX of everything. So I've already talked about how I really want a search bar in the businesses and real estate, but I would also like a filter so that my real estate properties and my empty retail spaces can be exempted from the list. So if I want to say, for example, give me all businesses in HK, it's going to list right now all the businesses in HK, but it may also be listing the retail stores as well. I don't want that, right? I want filters and search bars, right? And maybe even an intelligent search bar so that if I type in Hell's Kitchen, the thing doesn't say, sorry, you don't have any businesses in Hell's Kitchen, or you don't have any businesses named Hell's Kitchen, right? I hope it says, oh, okay, he probably means all the things that are in Hell's Kitchen. Cool. And then it just shows me those things. That would be really great. Some kind of intelligent search bar would be fantastic. Employee management right now is really rough because of that. The lack of search bars, the lack of really solid filters. It's just not quite there. I think there should be everywhere, right? Now I can type in this box, and let's say I type in Char's Fast and Fresh, right? Well, it's not going to show me anything because that filter's non-existent, right? But if I wanted to see all the employees in Char's Fast and Fresh right now, what I have to do is go current business and scroll down to find it. There's a bit of scrolling to do. You see what I'm saying? Even as for the business as much as Char's Fast and Fresh, where I've got like 10 locations. I don't have that many locations, but even with that, I got to scroll a long time before I finally get to them. Boom, there they are. And the only reason I know which one is which is because I've named it with these little tags at the end. A new tab that says what market it's in solves the problem. That helps too. It doesn't really solve the problem necessarily, but at least it would tell me without me having to do these where it is, right? I would love that too. I think the candidate system's cool, but when you assign businesses and stuff with these over here, the game tends to lag a little bit. That's probably something that'll just get worked out okay. It's fine. I like the import functions for, designing the businesses and everything. I think those imports are great, but I would like when calling or when setting it up, even in person, when you're setting that up and calling them, I want to see a preview of what it looks like in this window. Think of it like a picture message, like text messaging, right? I want to see a preview of this because otherwise I might, like, for example, what I did earlier, and somebody caught it. I forgot. I think Dark Dragon, you caught it. I actually picked the wrong layout from Christian to renovate the old bookstore or something. I think is what it was. I picked the wrong layout. When you do that, which I believe this is going to get corrected in the next update. I've already brought it up to him. But when you do that, that's it. You're locked in. You can't edit it. You can't cancel it. You're about to be charged whatever that rate is for the redesign of that business, and there's nothing you can do about it other than revert to an autosave. But even if that wasn't the case, I would still like to see a picture of it, because if I had seen the picture, I would have went, oh, wait, that's not the right one, and I would have corrected it. So what I did, of course, is I went back in the autosave. We did it right at the end of the video, so it was easy. But I would like to go, one step further with that and see a preview of those types of things built right in. You have it here. You go to blueprints and you pick up this whole window here, and you can see all these different blueprints. Well, yeah, there it goes. My internet pending. My internet's getting upgrades today, so it's really slow. Hopefully that means I'm getting fiber. That's what they say I'm getting. We'll find out. But right here, right, you see all these pictures? Just having this right here in the text message be a huge improvement to that. It gives you so much information, because I can clearly see the difference between this one and this one and this one and this one, right? You can see the difference. So if I had seen that, I would have went, oh, wait, that's not the right one. And I could have corrected it or fixed the right one. Obviously, it would be nice, and I believe this is what's going to happen in the next update. You can just call her back and say, hey, by the way, I want to change it to this, and you'll be able to do that. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that's going to happen. Next thing, and this is definitely a subjective thing that's not on the roadmap, and I have no idea if this is ever going to be a thing, but I think it would really put the icing on the cake, right? This would be the whipped cream on your sundae right here, right? The cherry on top. The persona tab. And I know this is asking a lot, and I know it has nothing to do with the game, but it is a factor of a role-playing game, and it's all about that work-life balance. Right now, everything you do in the game is about work. Everything you do in the game right now is about your health for the sake of being able to continue work, right? Like right now, I have no energy, no food. I'm going to park this car. I'm going to walk into my apartment right after I get in and I'm down. Well, now you get to see what it's like when you go to the hospital, at least. Yeah, no more energy and passed out. Local authorities transported you to the hospital, recover. There you go. So that's what happens when you go to the hospital. And of course, your mood's going to take a huge hit when you do that too. Yeah, 40% down for 2 days. But other than that, you're up and ready to go again, right? At least I parked my car in front of my apartment. Anyway, the Persona tab. I would love it if we had more personal interactions in the game. What do I mean by that? There are nightclubs. There are restaurants. There are going to be cinemas, movie theaters and stuff, right? Golf, tennis. These are things that are already on the roadmap, but there's one thing missing. People to do them with. I want to make friends. I want to connect with other characters, right? Go on a date. I want that kind of element to be put into the game because it's such a huge part of what it means to live in a city is also to get to know the people. Right now, the only people I interact with in this game are people that don't want me there. That's it. The only people I interact with are the people who are my rivals. Everything is about the business element. I want friends to be in the game too. I want to make friends. And then if we are going that level, if we're going that way, right, maybe it's a DLC thing. I'm really hoping you'd consider paid DLC for these types of things in the future. It would dramatically improve the game and get you some more money. Families. Let me start a family and pass on my businesses to my heir or have to train him or, he has to teach things. Maybe I would love to open this business, but I can't right now because my kid's got a soccer game. I know it's really a niche thing and it probably won't make it into the game, and it doesn't have to, right? That's the thing. It doesn't have to make it because the game is a gem as is. But if it did, whole new level. At the very least, having friends and going on dates, right? Whole new level. I think I'd love to just roll up in my bright pink petrol Fenton and be like, "Hey, babe, you want to go get a bite?" Yeah, that's how smooth I am. Mm-hmm. And then obviously they'd look at my car and just go, yes, I want to get a bite. Of course. What would you like a bite of? It's like, well, my French fries in the garment district are pretty cheap, and I'm selling soda for $1. All right, that's all I got for the ideas on that. But I seriously though, interactions with other characters would be great. It's not on the roadmap, but I will say this too, because I think it would give more depth to the game's experience as a person who's living in the city. Random events. I know it's kind of a cop-out. People have mixed feelings about those types of things. As long as there's a good enough variety and they don't get repetitive, I think random events would change a lot about how you interact with things. And I'm not talking about, this certain thing is out of stock. You're kind of starting to get there, right? But I'm not really referring to numbers in a menu random events. I mean in the world space random events. Okay, I'm talking about there's a parade going on, and so this street's shut down, and so my business is affected by that because my business is on that street. Maybe it's adversely affected, right? While the parade's going on, I'm making almost nothing, but then right after I get a huge boom of business because everybody's there. Can I keep up? Do I have enough in stock? Right, that kind of thing. I mean, there's a lot of things you could do with that. You have, tourism that could start with JFK coming into the game in 0.9. You have sporting events and tournaments and stuff that could happen that bring an influx of people into the city. And, at that point, you got a whole bunch of people. Can you keep up with that business, right? You might get a big boom in business. Or maybe there's some kind of outbreak. Maybe maybe COVID happens. Okay, don't go that far necessarily, but something that impacts the actual world space would be substantial. I think you've really nailed this. I'm mostly talking at the devs now. I think you've really nailed the interactive elements that go with the numbers of the game and the real basics of supply and demand economics and how changes in pricing and availability in the marketplace can impact the dynamics of a local economy. But I don't feel those impacts in the local economy actually being reflected in the world space. But for me, the improvements that can come and that really make the game that memorable experience I want to keep coming back to are things that are going to create personality. And I don't have that right now in Big Ambitions. There's no personality to my character. There's nothing there. Like, it's my character. I use him as a tool to get to my businesses where I'm going. I want him to actually be a character. I want him to actually interact with other characters. I want my persona tab to matter more to a person rather than just the tool that uses to make my businesses. And like, look, personal goals. Every personal goal is about business, and having a bigger apartment, I guess, is not technically a business, and having a boat's not business, but none of these goals involve other people. And that's where I want. I want it to get up there. Celebrate your 150th birthday. Love it. I'm never going to play the game that long, though. I'm just not. It doesn't have the long. I don't have the staying power with this title to play to 150 years old. I just don't. Not unless I start. Like, if I start as a 90-year-old man, maybe I could get there, but I'm only 24. All right. I'm at the top of the rival leaderboard. I'm worth $70 million with 38 businesses. I'm only 24 years old. And 30 videos worth got us to. I started as what, 20? I think I started as a 20-year-old, so I'm 4 years in. Like, I did all of this in 4 years. What in the world do I have to do? What is there to do for another 130 years? Like, nothing, right? I mean, give me more to do, I guess. For 130 years worth. I know. Big, simple request, devs. You got to pump those numbers up, right? These are... This is the way it goes. Anyway, I'm going to leave you guys here. This has all just been off the cuff stuff. I haven't rehearsed any of this or like wrote it down in a list or anything. I'm just speaking off the top of the cuff. Leave me your comments down below and tell me what you want to see from Big Ambitious. Maybe you got this crazy cool idea that, you know, if all the money in the world was yours and you had infinite developer power, you would just implement this in the game. What would that be? Leave us that down in the down in the comments, because I'd love to read your ideas too. And I know that almost none of the ideas that we come up with, as crazy as they are ever going to be implemented, because they're just not part of the core experience, right? They're not the direction that they're going. You have to be focused as a developer. You kind of have to be focused on what you're doing and make what you're doing good, and not get too complicated and not to get too spread out, right? That's the challenge as an indie dev, especially, is to not try to do too many things, because then you end up having a subpar experience with a lot of things instead of having a really good experience with a few things. And but that doesn't mean that us players can't dream. All right. I want to see it in the seriously, hashtag give me jet ski. You put that in the comments, and maybe I'll get you a key to Big Ambitions. Seriously, giveaway time, baby. Have a nice day, guys. We'll see ya. Bye-bye.